Another week of pregnancy is already in the books, and now I am officially 26 weeks and 1 day pregnant. I have so much to talk about from this past week. A lot has gone on, and I also had a doctor's appointment this morning, and I even have some maternity and postpartum clothes to share. So I'm going to start right away so that I can cover everything as quickly as possible. So to get started, let's talk a little bit about baby. So I use a couple of different pregnancy apps, and one of them that I really like is Ovia. And so I have the settings set to not show like what the baby's size is compared to like food or whatever. I have it as to compare it to like objects. And what's outrageous to me is that this week, baby is the size of a bowling pin. Like, what? That is just outrageous to me. And I think my favorite part of this app is that it also shows like what the baby's hand size and like foot size is anticipated to be at this stage compared to what it will be at birth. So here's what his hand most likely looks like. And then this is what his foot most likely looks like. It's kind of hard to see the outline of what it will be at birth, but like, it's crazy to me. I thought it was a huge milestone when the blue foot was like the size of my thumbnail, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's actually a foot. And now it's like the length of my thumb. Like, it's just outrageous to me how quickly he is growing, and I can feel it. And it's so amazing to feel these movements, and I'm definitely picking up on more patterns as to like how active he is after I eat. He's definitely active at night. I don't know if that's a good sign. But then also the movements are just so strong and so defined. And so they're not just like little kicks anymore. There's just like a lot of times just like a pressing, and I can't tell if it's a foot or a hand or maybe his head or his butt, or I don't know what it is, but sometimes it just like gets into an area of my stomach where it's just like really pressing hard up against the edge of my belly, and it's crazy. And movements aren't painful yet, by no means painful, but there are some times when it catches me off guard and I'm like, ooh, that's a little uncomfortable. And I just anticipate that as these movements keep getting stronger, that there will reach a point where I'm like, oh baby, like let's calm down, and I gotta like stand up and like shift around so he like gets in a better position or like stops poking me in a certain area. So I'm bracing myself for that, but I'm still looking forward to that too, because it's amazing, and it just shows just the miracle of life that's going on inside my body right now, and how quickly he's growing, how strong he's getting, and just so much. So I'm not going to go into detail about like development and stuff, because there's so many videos, there's so many apps that talk all about that. So I am going to, let's see, probably just jump right into talking about symptoms. So let's see, downfall symptom of this week is probably the fact that I noticed some stretch marks, not on my belly, but just like under my boobs. They're nothing crazy. They're not making me cry or keeping me up at night or anything like that, because honestly, who's gonna see them besides me and my husband? Let's be real. So like, they're really not bad, but there was just one morning I woke up and I was like, huh, I think there's some stretch marks there. Looks like a different color on my skin. So just kind of caught me off guard, but I'm not surprised. I have kind of prepared myself for stretch marks just because I had some previously as I gained and lost weight, like, you know, high school, college, whatever. And I know that they're genetic, so I expect them. And I'm very grateful that I've gone this long without any. So I think that's a good sign that weight gain is on track, and obviously my body's going to expand and grow and make room for baby and make room for milk and all that. So it doesn't hurt yet. I'm sure it'll hurt a little bit more if there's some more obvious ones in places that won't be so easy to hide during the summer or in a bathing suit or whatever, but cross that bridge when we get there, and it's all worth it in the end, so I'm not gonna stress. Another new symptom that I noticed this week was that my skin was a lot drier than it has been, and my nails have been a little bit more brittle. They're doing a little bit better lately, but there was like a few days in there where I felt like my nails were just chipping and breaking every day. So that was odd because I've been used to having very long nails and like my skin has been like decent. So yeah, definitely took a turn with like skin and stuff this week. Definitely dry skin on my hands, and then even like dry skin on like on my boobs. So that's been kind of a pain, but I've been lathering up with the lotion, still using the humidifier at night, and drinking a ton of water. And I've just noticed also that my thirst is like totally picking up a lot more. I carry around this big like 30-ounce, it's right here, I'll grab it. I carry around this like big 30-ounce thing. It's not a Yeti, but it's like the knockoff Yeti. I got it at TJ Maxx or Marshall's or something like that. But so I try to drink at least 3 of these a day, and then I might have like other things like flavored waters or seltzers or whatever throughout the day too. But pregnancy brain is totally real. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I try to drink at least 3 of these a day. Today I have already been through 3 and I'm like super parched right now. So I could probably get through another 1 or 2 of these massive things. I wouldn't be surprised by the way things are going. So it's definitely a sign that I need to be drinking more water. So I'm going to just pound it as much as I can and try not to go crazy at the fact that it makes me have to run to the bathroom every 5 seconds. So that is that. So on another note, non like physical symptom related, like kind of a mental symptom, I guess. So I've kind of been having increased anxiety. Nothing that is just debilitating or anything insane, but just, I guess, the way my thoughts are going, I'm just very more cautious and aware of situations, and maybe just thinking things through or overthinking things. So for example, Easter's coming up and our church has, instead of having multiple services for the day, it has a major service at a big convention center where thousands of people can fit. It's usually where they hold sporting events, concerts, you know, it's a big venue. And I've just been thinking about it lately, and I honestly don't know if I even want to go. Not because I don't want to celebrate Easter and be with like a big group of people, because it's amazing to be in an arena where there's so many people worshiping and just hearing God's word, and it's amazing. So of course I want to be a part of that. However, the other side of it is I watch the news, I'm not ignorant, and there's just so many terrible things that go on in our world, and part of me just doesn't want to subject myself to an environment that could be a target for something bad to happen. And I think when I say it out loud, it sounds totally insane, but I'm just at this point where I don't want to do anything, put myself in any sort of situation that might jeopardize my well-being, the well-being of my baby, like the future of our family. Like that's just like, I don't really care if I look like an idiot, like, or if I seem like I'm overreacting. I just feel like this motherly instinct is kicking in, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do what I have to do that's best for me and my baby and my family. So there's that. And then there's a different side of it too, where I just, even if I'm driving, like I feel like I just am like a little bit more nervous and cautious in the car. And it's not my skill by any means, it's the people around me that I don't trust. So I don't know if it's the hormones or if it's just this natural kind of instinct that kicks in as like labor and delivery nears, but I've definitely noticed a shift in just how I'm thinking about situations and how I'm just approaching situations that may be a little bit more risky, and how, I don't know, my body's responding in those situations. So definitely a little weird, but I guess it makes sense. So as I have been getting bigger and as baby has been getting bigger, I've noticed how just simple, or things that should be simple life things are just getting a little bit more complicated and difficult. So namely sleeping. It is definitely a chore to switch from left side to right side and vice versa. I have to like pull my legs out of my pregnancy pillow and resituate them, and then like, not to mention just rolling over itself, like that's a chore. And I'm definitely finding that, so sometimes I'll be like kind of propped up, like laying on my back, not flat on my back, but just kind of like leaning that way, and that's not even comfortable anymore. Like I have to be on the side because I just feel the weight of my belly just pushing harder. So that's, you know, to be expected, but it's just something to roll with. Literally, because I'm like freaking ball. Anyways, so other life things like doing house chores, and like just keeping up with things, having the energy to like do what needs to be done, it's just kind of a struggle some days. I had a rough patch earlier this week where I just was just feeling really down, mostly because non-pregnant me would have woken up early on the weekend, gone to the gym, ran errands, done a lot of chores around the house, been super productive, and then just like felt accomplished. But the pregnant me couldn't even like put on clothes for the day. I was like, I just want to be on the couch. Like it was just a rough day. I ate like crap. Like I didn't do anything with my day. I spent way too much time watching One Tree Hill on Hulu. And so just a combination of hormones and not so great food in my body and like lack of motivation and all that, I was miserable. And I had like a breakdown. I was just like sitting there crying on the couch for maybe 10 minutes. I got it out of my system. I felt a little bit better, still kind of down. But as the week kind of kicked in, so this was Sunday. So as the week started, I got back into a routine, cleaned up my diet. I started to feel a lot better. So just, you know, combination of so many pregnancy symptoms and hormones and factors, but just not feeling like I used to, or like I'm used to feeling. It's definitely a challenge, a good amount of the time, you know. It's just something different to have to manage in day-to-day life and try to just figure out how to make things work and how to still feel productive while also taking care of your body and just listening to your body too. I constantly have to remind myself to just slow down and just remember I'm pregnant. I don't have to be going a million miles a minute. I can still be productive without doing things at the level that I used to before I was pregnant. So just, you know, probably so many other people go through this. It's just something funny to figure out, and it'll totally change once the baby's here. I will be figuring things out on a whole different level. So this is just practice of just kind of rearranging my life and not trying to be an absolute control freak, which is very easy for me to want to do. So just trying to kind of let some of these things go now before the baby's here, and just, you know, embrace the transition because it is a wild ride. So that's all I have to really talk about symptom-wise for this week. I guess I will just mention real quickly that pain has been at a lower level this week. I have laid off the gym, which has been hard, but at the same time I think worth it. I have not been having any sciatic pain like I was a few weeks ago. I was having some groin pain last week, and that kind of picked up this past weekend, hence why I didn't really do that much. But I listened to my body, I let myself rest, and that's feeling better too. So I'm not feeling like that just like pulling sensation like in my inner groin, because that just sucked. That just sucked. So enough with the symptoms. Now I am going to talk about my doctor's appointment that I had this morning. So I am at the point in pregnancy where I'm now going to start having appointments every 2 weeks instead of every 4 weeks. So this is totally just making me feel like we're making good progress and we are basically on the home stretch here. So very exciting. And this appointment in itself was actually a little bit more eventful than other ones have been too. So normally I just go in, they ask me how I'm doing, if I have any concerns, no, and then they check the baby's heart rate, and then I'm out of there like 10-15 minutes max. But this time I go in and she's like, okay, yeah, go pee in a cup, and we're gonna test your urine for, I think, protein and glucose. So did that, did the lovely scale per usual, and weighed in at 155 with clothes. Not terrible, you know, kind of to be expected. That's where I project myself to be, so go me for not going crazy. Anyways, so what else did I do? The doctor came in, and actually first off she started to talk to me about birth control, which that totally caught me off guard, because I was like, well, we're here to talk about like pregnancy and baby, like why are you telling me about birth control? Like, I'm already pregnant, isn't it too late? But it was a good point, and I think a good time to talk about it as well, because I'm still like, you know, there's not like tons of stuff happening right now week to week in my pregnancy. Things are just kind of going along smoothly, so it's a safe time to talk about what I will be doing after birth and like 6 weeks into my baby's life, which seems like an eternity away, but I know it'll be here before I know it. So she was throwing out some different options just to consider, just so that it's something that's on my mind now, so that I'm not caught off guard, because once baby's here, everything's going to be about baby, and then, you know, plans don't really fall into place, and my husband and I definitely don't want to have another baby right away. We definitely want to have another child soon, but I don't want to like do back-to-back pregnancies. Like, I need to have some time in between to recover and get used to being a mom. So couple options to consider, and I guess I'm just gonna weigh my options and just kind of feel out what I think would be best. You know, I definitely want a nurse, so I don't want to do any sort of birth control that would impact that in a negative way. And I've never really considered like the intrauterine little things, whatever you call them, I don't know. I've never really considered those, because those kind of just creep me out. But I guess now's a good time to start just thinking about what I might do. So that was that. And then she also talked to me about the glucose test. So that's what's next. So in my appointment in 2 weeks, I will do the glucose test. And they actually gave me the little bottle of sugary liquid already. So I have that in the fridge, and they wrote down like the time I need to start drinking it, the time I need to be done drinking it, the time I need to show up at the window, the lab, and then I'm going to have another appointment right after I have the lab work done. So I think at that appointment I will also get the Tdap shot. So get that out of the way, and I think my husband will be getting that pretty soon as well. And then probably my parents, just because they'll be in contact with the baby a lot. What else at the appointment? I was just asking questions about kind of the hospital classes and like just prepping for labor and things like that. And I will most likely be calling the hospital in the next week or so just to talk about what their options are, and try to get something scheduled. They have a schedule of classes on their website, but the doctor I saw today was actually talking about how there are some ways that you can customize kind of what you're learning about Instead of just going into the big group class, you could actually kind of have it catered to what you're interested in learning about. So I might look into that more, because I definitely want to have the tour of the hospital, a CPR training, and then kind of just like what to expect at the hospital that day. But I don't necessarily want to go like too in depth about the basics, because I feel like honestly in the moment I'm not going to remember all that they talked about in like a 6-hour class. Like the doctors and nurses are gonna have to remind me like what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, just more things to research and figure out and be excited for, because these are the things that make it seem really real and like it's really going to be happening really soon. So really excited for that, and I can't say really anymore. So now I am going to show some clothes that I've been buying recently. I have been trying not to go absolutely crazy, because that would be too easy to go absolutely crazy. And I've also been trying not to buy like a lot of maternity clothes. I kind of have a hard time justifying buying strictly clothes to wear while pregnant. I have bought a couple pairs of maternity pants and leggings. So that's, I feel like, the staple, because you can't really get away with wearing like non-pregnancy pants unless they're sweatpants, but I can't wear that to work. So I have splurged and bought maternity pants, but really for shirts and sweaters and dresses and things like that, I've just been trying to size up so that I can wear it, it fits well, but it's not like it looks super maternity like, and I will also have the option to wear it when I'm not pregnant. So I will start showing what I got. So last weekend I went out shopping with my mom and we went to Old Navy, and I have found that Old Navy has a lot of good stuff, because I feel like their sizes almost run a little bit bigger than what I'm used to. And they have a lot of shirts and things that are just a little bit longer. So I feel like they're lasting me longer into pregnancy. So I already had some like 3/4 sleeve shirts, and I've worn those a lot. So I recently bought 2 different tank tops. Here's one. It's not really fitted, but it's just a longer kind of just like loose tank, just a crew neck. So I got this coral stripe one, and then I also got a dark green one. So the dark green one is in the wash because I've already worn it. But I think those will be really good staples for spring, because I can still wear them with a sweater over them, or I can wear them without anything, and the straps are still wide enough that I could get away with not having like a little sweater on or anything like that at work. So another thing I got at Old Navy was this dress. So it's just a basic, it's kind of long, I can't really show all of it. Just a basic dress, again, just a crew neck. It goes down a little bit below the knee. So I can wear this with a belt to try to kind of accentuate the bump. But it doesn't hug me in weird places. So it just fits well. And it's definitely something that I can wear after pregnancy. When I was at the store, I was trying to keep in mind just the time of year that I will be postpartum as well. So I know I'm going to be wanting to wear like summer dresses and tank tops and things like that. But right away, I don't think I'm going to want like super like body hugging things. Like I'm going to want some things that I can pair with belts or sweaters or jackets or whatever to help them look a little bit more flattering, but at the same time they'll be kind of forgiving at the same time. So picked up this dress, and then I also picked up this dress, another striped dress, I know, but this one is more of just a t-shirt style dress. So just short sleeves, crew neck again. I guess I didn't realize everything was crew neck, but so this one, just another basic staple, same idea. It doesn't hug me in any crazy places. This one's a little bit more fitted than the other dress, but definitely something I see myself wearing for a while now in pregnancy, and then also in postpartum, because what's easier than throwing on a t-shirt dress to make you feel like you're kind of put together, but you're really not trying that hard. So I like this. I like this a lot. The next item is a shirt that I got from Marshall's. So this is actually an extra large. So it's pretty long. But I really like the detail on the sleeves, and then the same kind of detail like across the chest. So I thought this was really pretty, very springy. I think that it's definitely, I guess the style of it is definitely more maternity, just the way it's so flowy, but it's not like overly like, oh yeah, that's a pregnancy shirt. Like, I didn't want any clothes that were like that. And I can definitely see myself still wearing this after pregnancy with like leggings and boots and a sweater in the fall or something like that. So I like this. I really like the color. And again, it's crew neck. Surprise. So now I'm going to switch gears and talk about some other things, not like totally wear out and about clothes, but I went to Marshall's and I also got a couple of nightgowns. So this is just a kind of a basic nightgown. It goes down to about the knee, and it has like these little straps in the back. It's lightly padded, but I'm finding that because I'm getting warmer at night and pants are just annoying, that nightgowns are kind of comfortable to sleep in. So I'm already wearing them now, but I also envision that I'm going to be wearing these a lot towards the end of pregnancy when it's a lot warmer out, and then even after I give birth, because I just feel like living in nightgowns and robes is going to be something that'll make life so easy. When I want to breastfeed, I have like just postpartum body things going on. So just comfortable, easy, casual, and not like constricting in any sort of way. So picked up this one, and then I also picked up just a, actually it came as a set. So I also got this at Marshall's. This is just a robe. I don't have the tie, but somewhere in my closet. Okay, here we go. So it's not like a long sleeve, but it's probably like, it goes down to like the elbow. So this is just the robe part of it, but this came in a set. So it came with like a solid gray nightgown as well. So I have worn that already, so it's in the wash, but just another nightgown to have in my collection for the nights now that I don't feel like wearing pants and a shirt. And then also down the line, I feel like that'll just be an easy option. So that is that. Now moving on to, I'm kind of going to contradict myself with these next items. So talking about postpartum and being comfy and not being constricted, I did purchase a few things that will constrict, but hopefully help to just smooth things out, make me feel a little bit better if I'm wearing them under clothes or if I'm wearing them alone, whatever. I'll just show you. So at Marshall's as well, I found this set of tank tops. They're just like a stretchy material, and then like the part around the waist is like extra thick and extra like tight. So it's hard to tell on the black. Maybe it's easier to tell on the gray. But it's just like a little bit of difference between the material here and the material here. So these will just kind of help to suck me in and just kind of keep, I don't know, try to give me some shape down there. I'm totally at a loss for how my body will bounce back and what it'll be like in the first few weeks after birth. So I just figured having some of those available to just, I don't know, I might not even be comfortable wearing them. We'll see. But I have them, and at some point I'm sure I will use them to try to help give me my flat stomach back. And then in line with that, also at Marshall's, got these like boy short underwear things that just come up kind of high. So they're just, you know, high-waisted boy shorts. They were a pack of 3, so I got white, black, and gray. So figure these would be good to wear under nightgowns, probably even by themselves. You know, if it's hot out or if I just can't be bothered with real clothes. We'll see, but you know, these are just another thing that can kind of help to suck me in down there and hopefully kind of get things back to where they belong. And I also figured that in that chance that I have to have a C-section, these go above where the incision would be, so it wouldn't irritate that. So just in case. Well, that's all I have to share for this week. This video is so long, so to close it out, I will show my bump and then call it good.